guys, so today we're going to look at the new Simucube 2 True Drive release that contains a new reconstruction filter that they're calling version 2. This is in version 2024.5. So they're saying that they have included experimental testing of reconstruction filter V2. Now the way that this works temporarily is that they have included a reconstruction filter V2 adjuster here, and as soon as you touch it, it goes from off to any one of these numbers, 1 through 10. And if you click on the help button, they're saying when the filter is applied, the reconstruction filter on the profile settings will turn off and filter V2 is applied. The experimental filter will need to be always applied again after any change in profile settings. It is possible that you need to limit the slew rate of the motor to get a really rubbery feeling, as the reconstruction filter V2 is roughly similar to the maximum smoothness as the original reconstructed filter was around 7. At 10, they're saying V2 is similar to the old V1 reconstruction filter at a setting of 7. So that is interesting. Now the trade-off is always going to be the lower the value, the more raw of a signal you're going to get. So I didn't click apply, it still says off. And yeah, let's try some games. First we're gonna do Lamar Ultimate. Okay, so for my profile here, I'm gonna be using my own profile, which is mostly a copy of what Dan Suzuki made. So just showing these settings right here. And oh, I should mention that I don't have a Simucube 2 Pro, I have a Sport, so the weaker of the 3 models. And to start off, I'm going to take the V1 reconstruction filter and put it on about 4. Actually, for this, yeah, okay. So for this experiment, I'm going to set it to 0. That way the driver's doing all of the smoothing. So let's just do that for science. Torque capability, 17 Newton meters. That's the max of this wheelbase, and everything else is as you see it here. Go with LMP2. Now, as this loads, I should stress I am no good at this game. A few hours in it, so still learning, but we'll see if I can tell a difference between the two reconstruction filters. Come on, load. This is the one problem with this game. All right. All right. Oh yeah, and I should also mention I'm using a GSI X29 wheel. So that's what you guys see here. Whoa, jeez. And yeah. Let's go to the garage. Like I said, I am no good at this. Especially when the tires are cold. So let's do a couple laps. Need to brake way earlier. So as I go over the curbs, I can definitely feel a lot of detail with V1. Again, this is just the standard reconstruction filter that is in their latest software from May 29th. So basically the last update in May. Some brake bias forward. Let's see what happens here. Much better. So as difficult as this game is, something about the driving model is just very rewarding. So as much as I crash in it, it's actually still really fun. can't really put my finger on why. Oh my god. Anyway, this isn't very productive, but I'm gonna switch over to the other reconstruction filter and see what I can find. Nope, status, experimental features. So now I think all we have to do is like turn this on. So we're currently on 4. Let's see what 4 is with V2. All right. Well, right away, wow. I feel a difference already. So again, now I'm on version 2 of the reconstruction filter. Wow, going over those curves, jeez. Oh, hello. Even just little details in the road that were just not there. Wow, okay, so even just going back and forth on the road, I can feel what feels like every little nook and cranny in that road surface. That was not there with V1. Both I had on a level of 4, both V1 and V2. Now, what the help section did point out was that it does sound like version 2 is skewed towards more detail. So comparing version 4 to version 4 might not make any sense, but that's what I'm doing now. All right, so now we're going at speed. It's kind of calmed down a little bit, actually. Yeah, I feel a little bit of a rumble, but I can tell you it definitely doesn't feel like a real car. I mean, I've never been in an LMP2 car. I've only been in one sort of a race car before. And it's definitely a lot more dull than this. So we're not in any kind of paradigm that's realistic right now. But it's fun. It feels kind of neat. But yeah, let's pull over here. Hopefully it won't get hit. Let's see, without needing to go to the pits. The tires are gonna go cold, but let's just bump this up by a couple. Let's see what happens. Now we're on 6. Oh, that feels better. Yeah, I like that a lot more. So what felt like a square wave going through the wheel before is now much more rounded out. I still feel everything, it's just not as sharp, and that's good. If it's too sharp, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Just keep on going. Yeah, you can go by me, it's okay. Ooh, don't want neutral. Going back and forth, I can still feel everything in the road. So that's good. Still, if I go over really strong features here, like if I go over this curb, yeah, it still does feel a little too sharp. Whoop. All right. It's kind of hard to drive this car without focusing. Let's put it up a couple more. Let's put it up all the way to 8. And as a reminder, I have no filtering on in the game. All right, so now we're on V2. We're all the way up at 8. Let's see how this feels. Still feels a little robotic, but fine. Keys, can I use it to feel grip? That's what I'm trying to figure out now. That felt good. Let's go to an app that I know a lot better, which is Assetto Corsa Competizione, which is my favorite sim of all time. I'm gonna go to Spa. I've been enjoying the KTM GT2. It's a really fun car. If you're not driving GT2s in ACC, you're doing it wrong. All right, reconstruction filter is at 5. Definitely like a lot more. Wow, yeah, compared to Le Mans Ultimate, this is so much more subdued. And I don't know what it is about ACC, but something about this physics model just has always made a lot of sense to my brain. Being both ACC and version 1 of the reconstruction filter just feels so much smoother. I wouldn't say there's less detail. Yeah, okay. It's definitely a lot less sharp. All right. Let's go change this. Status experimental filters. Put this on 5. Apply settings. Close. Restarts are in the same place. Such a cool car. I love this thing. Do I notice a difference? Yes. So again, V1 was on 5, V2 is on 5. Is the differences noticeable as LMU? No. It's just better. This is definitely better. It might be in my head, but the other thing that I'm noticing is like there's this latency to the force feedback that I could tell with the V1 that seems gone. I've always wondered if this was in my head. Now I'm starting to wonder if that latency was real, because this just feels more responsive. I really like this. Again, in LMU, I don't know. But in ACC, my driving is terrible in this, but I'm mainly just trying to feel it here. Trying to go over the curves and stuff. And again, this is V1 at 5 and V2 at 5. So the setting is the same. And all else in the profile is the same. Oh yeah, I like this a lot. This just feels right. It's definitely a lot less noisy compared to LMU. And to be fair, I had the soft reconstruction filter, or sorry, yeah, the soft smoothing turned off completely in LMU. So I think that's probably something that I need to play with more for this to be really fair. Not that I'm comparing against the two games, but this just feels right. I also have way more hours in this game, so it's also part of it, I'm sure. Okay. I just kind of want to drive forward. This just feels good. Okay. Let's try something else. All right, so here we are in F124. These are my settings in the game. So for my Simucube profile, I'm using an old F123 profile. It's nothing special. We're gonna have the reconstruction filter V1 on a setting of 5 again. Should also mention that I'm aware of the changes in the tire model that have been going on. Oh wow, so much easier than GT2. I never really tested the before version, so I can't really compare with that. But this is pretty easy to drive. That said, it's fun. As far as the force feedback goes with the reconstruction filter, V1 on setting 5, yeah, it feels fine. Definitely not like the other two games, which are more of sims than this is. I don't feel a whole lot on the curves at all. Whoa, coming in a little hot. I don't know why this racing line is on. I guess that's the old line. Forget how this game works. Let's put this on V2, setting of 5. See if I notice a difference. Just close that just in case. Nothing yet. There it comes. Whoa. Oh yeah, definitely. Wow. Wow, in this game it's like night and day. Honestly, I was expecting the opposite. Ooh, jeez. That was not the wheel's fault, that was me. Can't dip a tire into the dirt like that. But yeah, oh man, V2, again on setting 5. Yeah, I feel the curbs a little more, but the biggest difference is just the detail in just going straight in the road. With V1, I didn't feel much of anything. With this, yeah, I'm feeling everything through the turn. I don't know what that is. What they're doing different. It's almost like that stuff was getting filtered out before. I don't know. It could also be in my head. Yeah, so now I'm back on V1. So now that I know that those details are there, I can feel them out, but they were sharper with V2. Yeah, see, like if I'm just going completely straight, in this game at least, you don't feel too much, but in V2 you do. That's interesting. Maybe before they were getting filtered out almost as if they were noise, but now V2 might be preserving something that wasn't there before, or that wasn't being preserved in V1. I don't know. I just know it feels different. I wouldn't say it's remarkably better, like it's, I don't think it's like gonna change the way you drive, right? But V2 is an improvement. Especially when you're just turning lightly. You just feel a lot more with V2. I just want to flip it back real quick. Oh yeah. It just talks to you more. All right, so in summary, yeah, it is different. I would say it's better, with the caveat that you're probably going to want to play with it still. So just taking your old settings with the reconstruction filter V1 and applying it to V2, I don't think is going to work. At least in some apps, right? So Le Mans Ultimate, I think you have to completely redo that setting. It's gonna take a little bit to figure out. For ACC, it was a different situation. So like with that, it just felt better going from V1 at a level 5 to V2 was a noticeable step up in detail, but it still felt good. It did not feel robotic or bad. And F124, I mean, it's a different kind of game. Yeah, you're not gonna get as much detail to begin with, but I did feel like V2 made it better. Now, this is still in testing. It sounds like they're still experimenting with it. I mean, they call it experimental testing. So I expect this to get better. Definitely skews things towards the more robotic. The whole game here, right, that they're playing is trying to provide as much detail as they possibly can without it feeling bad. And yeah, I think they improved it a bit here. And we'll keep an eye on this.